Thanks for staying with us. Customs Controller General pledged to continue to invest on customs management all over the country. Also on customs report, DCG Internal Training speaks on customs training in Abuja. Plus, more report. I am Egiseme Idinye. Stay tuned. The management of Nigerian Customs Service has pledged to continue more in education of members of its staff. The Controller General of Customs said training of officers remain top priority of the service. He speaks more on a number of issues.
The Comptroller General of Customs, CGC, Adewale Adeniyi, on Thursday emphasized the importance of quality education as a top priority of the Customs Service, stressing that management will continue to invest in it as it plays a critical role in the nation's development. The CGC stated this at a forum in Abuja on the 26th of September 2024, reaffirming the service's unwavering commitment to investment in education, particularly into the services schools nationwide. In his address at the forum, CGC Adeniyi affirmed the critical role of education in the nation's development, hence the commitment to building and renovating the services primary and secondary schools in various states. He highlighted the importance of ensuring that every child, regardless of background, has access to an excellent educational experience and assured that the Nigerian Customs Service will continue to deploy resources to address this issue.
Empowerment is at the heart of everything that COA does. Since COA relaunched about a year ago, COA has been, bringing up different programs, different projects, different initiatives that speak to empowering the youth, taking care of widows in the community, organizing programs that focuses youth development, and all of that. And so, what Asimao has tried to do now is to take what COA is doing a notch higher than what COA was doing. And for us, if you know Asimao, you will know that everything that she touches turns to gold. My wife talks eloquently about our contribution. The fact that she will create access when there is no access. She will build relationship with all the constituents and all the members. And in terms of contact mobilization, of course, this is already a testament of the prowess that our author today has.
CGC Adeniyi commended initiatives that encourage education, stating that such ventures align with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda of empowering small-scale businesses to revitalize the economy.
I therefore like to say that Nigeria Customs Service will support this kind of project that aims to deliver the renewed hope of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And in line with what has been spoken before, we have a number of schools in Nigeria, customs schools. So what we will do is that we will purchase books that have already been, these copies that have already been done, and we will send them to our schools. But talking in a more sustainable manner, the printing of more copies of this could be a challenge. So we will be working through the husband of the author to ensure that we print as many of these books that are necessary.
The event drew participants from various sectors and served as a platform for discussing strategies for enhancing entrepreneurial skills and leveraging innovative solutions for national development.
The Nigerian Customs Service has urged new customs students to make sure that they understand customs laws in the country. The call was made by the CG of Customs in Abuja. The CG was represented by DCG at the college. He also assured students of support of the service.
We informed NIPS that Nigerian Customs Service as today can pride itself at 60% automated. As we are migrating, I gave them the history of migration, our automation, right from 2007. We started with Asikuda 2.0, 2.7, Asikuda++. There we migrated to NISIS 1, NISIS 2, NISIS 3. And our ambition is just to be on the single window. Mr. President has made pronouncement on the single window. We have to key into the Mr. President's pronouncement. Nigerian Customs Service, as today, we have 15 agencies on our platform. So these agencies of government are on our platform. They are using it effectively. So that is the key message now the Nigerian Customs Service now sent to the NIPS. Really, they were really excited and for them to know all these things that is happening in Nigerian Customs Service. That is basically, we presented a well-articulated paper, and I hope and believe that the paper presented would be one of the best. Sincerely speaking, we had two participants there, two controllers. Two controllers were wonderful, especially Controller Omale. Omale became even a rapporteur there at NIPS. So I really handed out my report to the CGC highlighting all the, but basically NIPS were really excited. That was the climax, highest representation the CGC has done there.
The Assistant Controller General of Customs in charge of Zone A has paid a working visit to Oyo and Oshu Command. He was welcomed to the command by the Customs Area Controller, who introduced him to members of management. The controller has this to say to the ACG of happenings around the command.
Them the history of the Yorubas and how it is important that they as our landlord should always interact with us. I engaged them profusely, and at the end of it, one of the Oba was even offering me a land, that they will give me a land free of charge. So what I have done since I reported here in September is to tell custom story wherever I go. An American scholar, Maya Angelou, said that the history of the hunt should also be told by the lion. Otherwise, the history of the town will always be told by the hunters themselves. So that is the time for us to be telling our story. And that is the essence of those stakeholders' engagement. And without sounding any modest, I have been able to do it to the glory of God. The zonal contractor of the Assistant Controller Yusuf, esteemed officers and men of Nigerian Customs, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor and deep appreciation that I welcome you to the operational headquarters of Nigeria. Is the highest producer of rice in Africa, with 8,435,000 metric tons every year, followed by Egypt, Madagascar, and Tanzania. In Nigeria, KB produces 2.5 billion every year of rice, but they cannot sell because of the influence. Every year, Nigeria spends $2.2 billion importing rice when we can buy this rice. And when you buy them, the economy of these factories will increase, employment will increase. So that's why the federal government banned the import of rice from these neighboring countries. And since I came, I have seen thousands of bags of rice in this place to discourage them. So we have tried all possible best to tell people in Oyo Oshu that this place is not a veritable federal ground for you to engage in on custom services. The other areas they can exploit in agriculture. They can do palm plantations. Nigeria is the fifth that used to be the first in the cultivation of palm trees, followed by Indonesia is the highest, 50 metric tons of the palm oil. So Nigeria should also engage in these patriotic activities instead of engaging in illegal activities.
While the ACG commended the command and its officers for performing good job for the country.
Chief of the command, Oyo Oshu, under Dr. Ben, has been performing absolutely very good. Eventually or finally, Customs Service has gotten a leader, in the person of Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR. Since his assumption to office over a year ago, he has been able to roll out so many things in terms of procedures of customs operation in line with international best practice. He's somebody that is grounded in custom procedures and operations. So since his assumption of office, procedures that makes things work in customs administration internationally have been applied in Nigeria. So Nigerian Customs Service as it is at its best in terms of world best practice. So apart from those, we talk about simplification of custom procedures, we talk about the AEO programs he rolled out, we talk about advanced ruling. All these are trade facilitation tools which he launched and make sure that they must work, which I'm sure they are working. So apart from that, we also look at the issue of welfare. He has been on top of the situation in terms of officers' welfare. A lot of activities are going on. Insurance policies are being modified. Officers' housing schemes, promotions are taking place at when due. You know, we just finished promotion exams, and it won't take long. The results will come out. So these are things happening right now, and it's motivating officers. Officers are putting in their best as it is. So when you have a leader, an upright leader that cares about the welfare of officers, definitely you see change of attitude, and that is exactly what is happening right now in Nigeria Customs Service.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The president of Customs Officers' Wives Session visited Ogun State Command, where she awarded scholarship to 54 students of Customs College in Idiroko, Ogun State. She was welcomed to Idiroko Command by the chairperson of COA and the border.
The Ogun 1 chapter of Customs Officers' Wives Association, COA chairperson, Princess Adenike Fuluojo, has applauded the efforts of the association's president, Mrs. Kikelomo Adeniyi, for her unwavering commitment to a leadership of compassion. Princess Fuluojo, speaking at the chapter's project commissioning held at Idiroko, Ogun State, affirmed that under the leadership of President Kikelomo Adeniyi, COA has become more than just an association. Rather, it is a lifeline to the wives, children, widows, and orphans of both serving and fallen officers. The chairperson stated further that Mrs. Adeniyi's oversight visit was a clear testament to her unwavering commitment to the well-being of customs officers' families.
It is with profound gratitude and joy that I stand before you today to welcome our beloved National President, Mrs. Kikelomo Adeniyi, FPMC, to Ogun 1 chapter. Madam President, we are deeply honored by your presence and the attention you have brought to the welfare of the custom family in Idiroko. Your visit today is a clear statement to the unity commitment to the well-being of custom officers' families. Under your leadership, COA has become more than just an association. It's a lifeline to the wives, children, and orphans of both serving and fallen officers. Your efforts have touched every corner of the nation, and today we are privileged to experience that care firsthand. As the chairperson of the COA Ogun 1 chapter, I'm proud of the work they are completing together. Our mission is to ensure that the families of custom officers, both those in the active service and those who have left us, are supported, valued, and cared for. This is not just about duty, it's about compassion, community, and the shared responsibility we have to one another. Today, as we are gathered here, we are reminded of the sacrifice made by our officers for the wives and children of the service officers, your leadership.
On behalf of the entire Ogun 1 chapter, the chairperson expressed their deep appreciation for the COA president's leadership and compassion. Earlier, Princess Fuluojo Adenike spoke about the shared mission of COA as she commended the cooperation and resilience of Ogun 1 chapter members. She said as the chairperson of the COA Ogun 1 chapter, she is proud of the work they have accomplished together, adding that the mission is to ensure that the families of customs officers, both those still in and those out of active service, are supported, valued, and cared for.
We assure them that when their husbands and fathers protect their brothers, we, as an association, we are committed to promoting their families. The support, encouragement, and love we provide help them endure the challenges that come with the service of their loved ones. For the family of the fallen heroes, your visit is a beacon of hope and strength. We hope that their loss is immeasurable, but COWA's constant presence in their lives helps to soften that pain. These families are a central part of our community, and we are bound by one commitment to ensure their welfare. Madam President, your dedication to their cause has given them the courage to move forward, knowing that they are never alone. As we welcome you today, we also celebrate the strength of the entire COWA Ogun 1 chapter. The women here are resilient, supportive, and deeply connected to the values that define association, solidarity, care, and service. Together, we have worked hard to provide emotional and material support to the families in our command. And your visit today, you have found a shared mission. On behalf of the entire Ogun 1 chapter, I want to express our deep appreciation for your leadership and compassion. Your service today will inspire us to continue working tirelessly for the welfare of all the families under our care. We look forward to the guidance and insights we will provide during this visit, and we remain committed to upholding the vision of COWA at all levels. Let me conclude by thanking you once again, Madam President, for your tireless service and for the light you shine on our path. To all the families present here today, we stand united in our purpose, and together we continue to build a stronger, more supportive community.
While welcoming the COWA president, Princess Adenike Fulujo said that they also celebrate the strength of the entire COWA Ogun 1 chapter, adding that the women are resilient, supportive, and deeply connected to the values that define the association's solidarity, care, and service. She said together they have worked hard to provide emotional and material support to the families in their command, and COWA President's visit reaffirmed their shared mission.
Great pleasure and a sense of purpose that I come before you today in Idiroko, a place that holds significant importance not just for the Nigeria Customs Service, but for the entire nation. As one of our country's key border areas, Idiroko has long been a front line in the battle against smuggling and cross-border crimes. Our customs officers stationed here, including the courageous men and women in the Ogun 1 Area Command, face immense challenges daily in protecting Nigeria's economy and ensuring the safety of our borders. Today, we gather not only to celebrate the achievements of this chapter, but to show solidarity with our officers and their families who bear the weight of this noble duty. As the National President of Customs Officers' Wives Association, I, Kikelomo Adeniyi, I am deeply aware of the unique challenges faced by the families of our customs officers, particularly those stationed in difficult border regions like Idiroko. The constant battle against smugglers, traffickers, and criminals often takes a toll, not just on the officers, but on their families as well. As wives and mothers, we know firsthand and the anxieties, the fears, sacrifices that comes with having our loved ones on the front line. The threat of danger is ever present, and the pressure on their shoulders can sometimes weigh heavily on us too. But I stand here today to encourage each and every one of you to remain steadfast, remain prayerful, continue to support your husband with strength and courage. Your unwavering support is not just a comfort to them, but a vital source of inspiration that helps them carry out their duty diligently.
During the oversight visit by COWA's president, Mrs. Kikelomo Adeniyi, projects executed by the Princess Adenike Fuluojo-led Ogun 1 chapter were commissioned which included scholarship awards to 54 outstanding students from Nigeria Customs Secondary, Primary, and Nursery schools. All the students received writing materials, including books and mathematical sets, just as palliatives were also given to more than 50 widows of customs officers.
The customs controller in charge of FOU Zone A has been speaking on importation of fake drugs alongside drugs into the country. One will be important agent to desist from importation of drugs into the country through the approved or unapproved route, saying that anyone caught will face the law.
We've restructured our operational strategy. We based our operation on intelligence gathering, and with the aid of high tech, with our profiling of risk analysis, these three combined factors really aided us in achieving this. It's not a day job. Even as I'm talking to you, we are still gathering intelligence more. Some of these drugs were intercepted along the express on the way to the east, some to the north. Some were intercepted within Lagos because, you see, the mode of distribution of drugs has changed. We too, we are changing with them. They are no longer using big truck. You know, one of our press conferences we did in the past, we showcased a truck load of India hemp. But now what they do is to use smaller buses to distribute, conceal it with general goods. But with the aid of intelligence, I think we always get them. And sometimes, if they know that we're almost getting them, the drivers or the owners will bolt away on sighting, on knowing that things are not going to work out. They have been caught. And it's in line of that that we're able to intercept, some, then with suspects. We have 4 suspects here, which they can let us know, though we have to protect them. That's the reason why we cannot expose them to you, so that it will not jeopardize our further investigation, especially by our sister agency who is taking over the case from us.
The controller of customs in charge of FOU Zone C has again warned importers and agents to stop bringing in consignment not approved by government into the country. He was speaking in Owerri.
Our continued determination to curb smuggling menace within our areas of jurisdiction, we intercepted various contrabands with a duty-paid value of 510,920,000 between July 15 to September 15, 2024. Similarly, based on our intervention, we recovered the sum of 25,573,125 naira only from demand notices raised based on some infractions noticed, making a cumulative sum of 536,593,125 naira only within the months under review. The duty paid value above was derived from our seized goods, which includes 49,699 sachets of various brands of tramadol, 3,350 bottles of various cough syrup with codeine without NAFDAC registration number, sacks of dried donkey meat skin, 75 jumbo bales of second-hand clothing, 463 cartons of foreign spaghetti, 269 pieces of used pneumatic tires, and 56 cartons of smuggled foreign tomato paste.
Before the end of this week edition of Power Customs Report, we brought you a report where the CG of Customs continue to preach on education of officers all over the country. For me, Igeseme Etienne. Thanks for watching.